They say being a YouTube producer is a dream job, but at 4:30 a.m. in a creaky cabin, with my period starting 10 days early and an 11-hour drive ahead of us, it feels a lot more like a survival movie. This is a workday in my life, not staged, not polished, exactly how it happened, with all the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I'm going to tell you exactly why I do this. I can't say that all YouTube producers work this way, but this is what a shoot day looks like for me when we are filming what I call a big video. For this specific client, we produce 2 videos a month. One is a small video, usually filmed in a single location where our host reads a script I've written that's heavily packed with info.
Ну да, еще в ничего. Лёшка, надо сесть сначала.
The other is a big one, a mix of a vlog, a travel documentary and a cinematic adventure.
Это нифига не релакс, мне не нравится, я очень нервничаю, мне очень страшно, чтобы вы знали. Надо было взять спасательный круг.
For this type of video, I don't use a word-for-word script. Instead, I have a list of locations, a mental map of shots, and the key phrases our host needs to say to stitch the story together. My main responsibility, though, is to stay quick on my feet, making necessary changes on the go, rewriting on the fly, and directing the shots so everything can be pieced together into the perfect video during the edit. Because with this type of shoot, nothing ever goes according to plan. This is exactly why my workday actually started the day before. From the get-go, we knew our shoot destination was 3 hours away, but the host suddenly announced he had to finish the entire shoot before noon the next day, which meant an unexpected overnight trip. On one hand, this has completely screwed up my plans. I was supposed to be scripting my own YouTube video and call me preparing for the shoot. But on the other hand, because I'm always ready for anything, I already had the ideation and planning done. We just had to pack in a hurry and hit the road at 5 p.m. Suddenly, my job also included booking a cabin for a night and replanning the entire trip from the passenger seat. I work with my husband as a team. I'm the director and producer, and he is the videographer and editor. It's a blessing and a curse all in one package, and you'll see why later. We always carry a mountain of equipment, and today we have the extra bag for an overnight stay, which just adds to the stress. We arrived after sunset. One thing I want to mention, because some clients don't always realize this, is that when you hire a crew for a long, demanding shoot like this, you are responsible for their food and shelter. So for this trip, all our bills are being covered by the client. This is the cabin I booked for our stay. To be honest, I didn't end up liking it, even though it looks decent enough. It creaked all night and I was on the edge the whole time. I kept feeling like someone was trying to get inside, but it was just the wind. Anyway, between the noise and the sudden sharp pain in my stomach, I barely slept. Then, at 3:30 a.m., I realized my period had started 10 days early. I don't ever remember that happening to me before. Luckily, I had everything I needed to handle it without the guys even knowing, but it hit me hard. My first day is always the hardest, and spending it driving and directing is far from ideal. The shoot itself has the same rhythm all day. We drive, we stop, we shoot. Again and again and again. Some parts are more demanding because I have to describe exactly how I see the frame in my head to my husband and then tell the host exactly how to deliver his lines. Every tiny detail matters for the final video to be great and for the viewer to be satisfied. It also falls heavily on my shoulders to make sure we've packed all the equipment and haven't lost anything. Even though it's technically a shared responsibility, I have this extra sense of duty to make sure nothing gets left behind, which backfired spectacularly in my face later that day. It's also my responsibility to be the backup videographer. When my husband is shooting drone footage, I'm covering the ground shots, so we can move as fast as possible. Our reality is that we never had the luxury of time. Our host is a very busy business owner with a tight schedule, so it's always a race to cover everything. On one hand, I'm always surprised by how well we put it off. The final product is always great. On the other hand, it never gets easier. It's a high-stress environment, and because the shoot is so chaotic, it's my job afterwards to piece it all together. I'm the only one on the team who holds the entire vision and creative direction in my hand. Which brings us to the grand finale of the shoot, a catamaran ride on the lake. Everything was going perfectly until we were heading back to the shore. In a split second of distraction, while I was on land and the guys were still between the water and the dock, the drone controller fell into the lake. Luckily, there was no data on it, but the microphone also went down with it. We got the controller back, but I'm afraid it's dead. Because it was a misstep on my husband's end, a backpack not being closed properly. If that controller is fried, the cost of a new one lies on us. After that, we had a 3-hour drive home. We'd been on our feet since 4:30 a.m., surviving on nothing but snacks, coffee, and energy drinks. This was our first time losing equipment in 2 years, which is a great record, but it's still hard not to blame ourselves for mistakes like this. By the time we got back, we were completely destroyed, dirty, hungry, and exhausted. My lower back pain was killing me, so I took some painkillers and lay down for 20 minutes. After, I ate some fast food because I had zero energy to cook. I know this lifestyle impacts my health and my appearance, but right now it is what it is. But the work isn't done. I still have to go through the footage with my husband and manage the edit to make sure it matches the strategy. We also have to debrief on the shoot and have a hard discussion about the lost controller. This is exactly why I said working together is a blessing and a curse. It's beautiful to build a life together and understand each other without speaking, but the work problems come home, the arguments come home. Separating the relationship from the production is the hardest part of all. Usually, after a 24-hour marathon like this, I just collapse and decompress, but not this time. This time, I'm taking the footage I shot for myself and editing my own video. It's a big deal for me. I don't like how I look in this footage. It's not aesthetic or polished. I didn't have time for that. My job is to make sure the client's video looks perfect, not mine. This was filmed in the tiny gaps between shots. But posting this is a big step. I'm finally talking about what I do and claiming my work. I worked on this project for 2 years. I've done so much for tourism in Montenegro, but very few people know it was actually me and my husband behind the success. And that's on us. Every day you have a choice. You can show the world that you pour your heart into your work, or you can stay invisible, a perfect cock in the machine. I've changed countries and jobs so many times that I know for sure nothing is permanent. I know the feeling of putting everything into something only to have it taken away. If you never record or share what you've built, it feels like you're starting from zero every time. I don't want that anymore. There are so many talented people doing incredible work, but they are too shy or too scared to claim it. I think that silence is what damages our lives the most. With this video, I hope I can inspire you to share your work and show up for yourself. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.